Kallan placed his hands over the control panel of his sleek scout craft as Earth came into view. Through the viewport, the blue-green orb spun serenely against the dark canvas of space. To the seasoned Zolarian scout, it seemed like an unremarkable world, ripe for the taking. Reports from the surface team echoed his initial assessment: Earth lacked advanced technology, and its inhabitants appeared blissfully unaware of any impending threat. Primitive and agrarian, Kallan muttered to himself, scanning the data. The rest of the Zolarian fleet would find this planet an easy conquest. The comms crackled to life, and Varnas's voice filled the cockpit. "Kallan, what's your evaluation?" Kallan leaned back, his confidence unwavering. "The humans are no match for us. They live simply, without any sign of sophisticated weaponry or defenses." "Excellent," Varnas replied, satisfaction evident in his tone. "We'll proceed as planned." Descending through the atmosphere, Kallan's craft touched down in a rural area surrounded by rolling fields and distant mountains. The locals, a small group of farmers, approached cautiously. Kallan, along with his team, stepped out to meet them. "Greetings," Kallan said, his translator rendering his Zolarian speech into flawless English. "We are explorers seeking to understand your way of life." A middle-aged farmer, Tom, stepped forward, hat in hand. "Welcome. We don't get many visitors out here. What brings you to our humble lands?" Kallan observed the man's simple attire and the rustic surroundings. "We're curious about your technology and culture." Tom nodded, leading the Zolarians around the farm, showing them ancient plows, hand tools, and simple machinery. "It's not much, but it gets the job done." Satisfied, Kallan and his team returned to their ship. "Thank you for your hospitality. We've learned much." As the Zolarian craft ascended, Tom watched, a knowing glint in his eye. Tom returned home, where his wife, Mary, waited with a worried expression. "Did they buy it?" she asked. "Hook, line, and sinker," Tom replied, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. "They think we're harmless." In the back room, Tom pulled up a hidden floor panel, revealing a staircase leading to an underground facility. As they descended, the hum of advanced machinery grew louder. Engineers and scientists bustled about, working on sophisticated weapons and drones. "Everything is ready," Tom announced to the team. "We keep up the charade until the last moment. Our real defenses must remain hidden." Mary placed a hand on Tom's shoulder. "We're counting on you. The fate of Earth rests on our deception." Tom nodded. "We won't let them down." Later that evening, Tom sat on his porch, staring at the night sky. The Zolarians were out there, watching, waiting. He knew they would return with more ships, more questions. "Do you think they'll come back?" Mary asked, joining him. "Without a doubt," Tom replied. "And when they do, we'll be ready." Down in the hidden shack, the team monitored the Zolarian communications, intercepting their plans. Tom coordinated with other covert units across the globe, ensuring that every move was anticipated and countered. "Keep the drones on standby," Tom instructed. "We need to intercept their probes without revealing our true capabilities." Days later, another Zolarian craft descended, this one more heavily armed. Kallan stepped out, accompanied by a larger team, their expressions wary. "Tom," Kallan greeted, his eyes scanning the area for any signs of subterfuge. "Back again?" Tom smiled, feigning innocence. "Still curious about our little farm?" Kallan's eyes narrowed. "We received reports of unusual energy readings. Care to explain?" Tom shrugged, leading them towards the barn. "Must be a malfunctioning generator. Let me show you." Inside the barn, Tom activated a concealed switch, triggering a hologram that masked the advanced equipment with images of mundane farming tools. The Zolarians scanned the area, finding nothing amiss. "It's just as I said," Tom insisted. "Nothing but old machinery here." Kallan's suspicion lingered, but he found no evidence to contradict Tom's words. Very well. We'll be watching. As the Zolarians departed, Tom's expression hardened. We need to accelerate our preparations, he told Mary. They're getting too close. Night fell, and Tom gathered his family around the table. We're in the eye of the storm, he said quietly. But our preparations are solid. We'll keep them fooled just a little longer. Mary squeezed his hand. We believe in you, Tom. We'll see this through. In the hidden facility below, the team worked tirelessly, refining their defenses, readying for the day when the Zolarian threat would reveal itself in full. Tom knew that day was approaching fast, and when it came, they would be ready to show the true strength of Earth. As the stars sparkled overhead, Tom looked out into the night, the weight of his responsibilities heavy on his shoulders. He knew the Zolarians would not remain deceived forever. The final confrontation loomed on the horizon, and Tom steeled himself for the battles ahead. This was just the beginning. The calm before the storm. And when the time came, they would be prepared to defend their home with everything they had. The Zolarian fleet arrived in the orbit of Earth, their massive ships casting ominous shadows over the planet. Kallan watched from his command post as the main cruiser settled into position. The tranquility of his initial survey had been replaced by the urgency of conquest. Varnas's voice came through the comms, sharp and expectant. Any updates from the ground, Kallan? Kallan straightened. The humans remain oblivious. They suspect nothing. Good. Prepare for the next phase. On the surface, Tom and his team monitored the Zolarian movements from their hidden command center. The tension was palpable as the sophisticated equipment hummed softly around them. Tom's eyes scanned the screens, searching for any sign that their ruse had been discovered. Mary's voice broke through his concentration. They're mobilizing more troops. How much longer do we have? Tom's jaw tightened. Not long. We need to make our move soon. Meanwhile, Kallan's ship descended for another reconnaissance mission. He was determined to uncover the source of the mysterious energy readings. This time, he brought an advanced scanner, capable of penetrating deeper than their previous equipment. As he stepped out, Tom greeted him with a practiced smile. Back so soon, Kallan. You must really like our little farm. Kallan's eyes narrowed, his scanner already sweeping the area. We detected unusual activity. Care to explain? Tom maintained his composure. Must be our old generator acting up again. Let me show you. The scanner beeped insistently as they approached the barn. Kallan's suspicion grew. Inside, the hologram flickered for a split second, revealing the advanced machinery beneath. Tom's heart pounded, but he kept his face neutral. It's just a glitch, he said, hoping to divert Kallan's attention. These old machines are temperamental. Kallan wasn't convinced. He scrutinized Tom, searching for any sign of deceit. The tension was electric. Finally, he turned away, signaling his team to follow. We'll be back, Kallan warned, his voice cold. And next time, we won't be so easily fooled. As the Zolarian ship lifted off, Tom exhaled a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. He turned to Mary, determination etched on his face. They're getting too close. We need to activate the defense grid. Mary nodded, her resolve matching his. We're ready. Let's show them what Earth is truly capable of. Tom coordinated with his team, issuing orders and finalizing preparations. The underground facility buzzed with activity as they readied their advanced weaponry. The time for deception was nearing its end. Soon, they would reveal their true strength. Night fell, and Tom gathered his family one last time. The weight of the coming battle hung heavily in the air. He looked into their eyes, drawing strength from their unwavering support. This is it, he said quietly. No turning back. Mary squeezed his hand. We're with you, Tom. All the way. As dawn approached, the hidden defense grid powered up, casting a faint glow over the facility. The Zolarian fleet was on the move, preparing for their final assault. Tom stood at the ready, his heart steady, his mind focused. The calm before the storm was over. The real battle for Earth was about to begin. The Zolarian fleet unleashed a barrage of energy weapons, their beams scorching the Earth. Tom's defense grid activated, intercepting the deadly projectiles with precision. Sparks flew as the shield absorbed the impact, creating a dazzling light show. Inside the command center, Tom's team monitored the situation, their faces illuminated by the glow of the holographic displays. Shields holding at 80%, Mary reported, her voice steady despite the intensity of the moment. Tom nodded, eyes locked on the battle outside. Maintain positions. Prepare to launch countermeasures. Outside, Kallan led his troops, frustration etched into his features. His previous confidence had waned in the face of unexpected resistance. He barked orders, directing his soldiers to intensify their assault. The Zolarian warriors advanced, their armor gleaming under the harsh sunlight. Tom activated the next phase of his plan. Deploy drones, he commanded, fingers flying over the controls. A swarm of sleek, metallic drones surged from hidden compartments, darting through the air with agility. They unleashed a torrent of laser fire, targeting the Zolarian soldiers with deadly accuracy. Kallan's forces scrambled to retaliate, but the drones were relentless, weaving through their defenses with ease. Mary's voice crackled through the comms. Drones are making an impact, but we're still outnumbered. Tom gritted his teeth. We need to draw them into the trap. As the battle raged, he signaled his team to initiate the next maneuver. Hidden turrets emerged from the ground, their barrels swiveling to lock onto the advancing enemy. With a deafening roar, they opened fire, spewing streams of plasma that cut through the Zolarians like a scythe. Kallan's forces faltered, caught off guard by the sudden onslaught. He roared in fury, rallying his troops to press forward. The air crackled with energy as the two sides clashed, the ground trembling beneath their feet. Tom's heart pounded as he watched the battle unfold. His plan was working, but the outcome was far from certain. He glanced at Mary, who met his gaze with unwavering resolve. They had come too far to fail now. In the midst of the chaos, a Zolarian soldier breached the perimeter, charging towards the command center. Tom's eyes widened as he saw the intruder. He grabbed a nearby weapon, ready to defend his team. The soldier burst through the door, but before he could attack, Mary sprang into action, tackling him to the ground. They grappled fiercely, the sounds of their struggle blending with the cacophony outside. Tom rushed to Mary's side, helping to subdue the soldier. Together, they secured the intruder, tying him up with makeshift restraints. Mary panted, her eyes blazing with determination. Thanks, she muttered, standing up. Tom offered her a hand. We're not done yet. Let's finish this. The battle outside intensified, but the tide was turning. The Zolarians, worn down by the relentless assault, began to retreat. Kallan snarled in frustration, his plans unraveling. He knew he had underestimated the humans, and it was costing him dearly. Tom seized the moment. Push forward, he shouted to his team. We have them on the run. The defenders rallied, pressing their advantage. The Zolarian forces broke, scattering in disarray. Kallan's eyes blazed with fury as he ordered a full retreat. The skies cleared as the enemy ships withdrew, leaving behind a field of smoldering wreckage. Tom's team erupted in cheers, their faces lit with relief and triumph. He turned to Mary, a smile breaking through his exhaustion. We did it, he said, his voice filled with pride. Mary nodded, her eyes shining. But this isn't the end. They'll be back. Tom's expression hardened. Then we'll be ready. The sun set, casting a warm glow over the battlefield. Tom stood amidst the aftermath of the battle, surveying the wreckage and the exhausted faces of his team. The victory had come at a cost, and he could see the toll it had taken on everyone. Mary approached him, wiping sweat from her brow, her determination undimmed. "Casualty reports are coming in," she said, handing him a tablet. "We've lost some good people." Tom took a deep breath, scrolling through the names. Each one felt like a weight on his shoulders. "We'll honor them," he replied. "And make sure their sacrifice wasn't in vain." Mary nodded, her gaze shifting to the horizon. "Kallan won't give up easily. He'll be back with reinforcements." Tom clenched his fists. "Then we need to be ready for him. We'll strengthen our defenses and prepare for their return." As they walked through the camp, they saw soldiers tending to the wounded and repairing damaged equipment. The sense of camaraderie and resolve was palpable. Tom knew they would fight with everything they had when the time came. They reached the command center, where Marcus and Lisa were coordinating efforts. Marcus looked up, his expression serious. "We've intercepted communications. Kallan's regrouping. We estimate they'll be back within a week." Tom's jaw tightened. "We don't have much time." Lisa stepped forward. "We've been analyzing their tactics. If we can predict their next moves, we might be able to gain an advantage." Tom nodded. "Get everyone on it. We need to be one step ahead." The days passed in a blur of activity. Fortifications were reinforced, new strategies devised, and morale bolstered. Tom worked tirelessly alongside his team, driven by a determination to protect their home. Mary's presence was a constant source of strength, her unwavering spirit inspiring those around her. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tom and Mary stood on a ridge overlooking the camp. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, a stark contrast to the looming threat of battle. "We've done all we can," Mary said softly. "Now we just have to wait." Tom nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "Whatever happens, we'll face it together." Mary smiled, a glint of steel in her eyes. Together. The calm before the storm was almost surreal. The air was thick with anticipation, every soldier aware of the imminent clash. Tom addressed his team one last time, his voice carrying over the assembled troops. "We've faced them once, and we'll do it again. Remember what we're fighting for, our home, our families, our future. Stand strong, and we'll prevail." A cheer rose from the crowd, the sound echoing through the night. Tom felt a swell of pride and determination. They were ready. As the first light of dawn broke, the Zolarian fleet appeared on the horizon. The sky darkened with their approach, the ground trembling under their advance. Tom took his position, every muscle tense with anticipation. The battle erupted with a ferocity that shook the earth. Energy beams and explosions filled the air as the two forces clashed. Tom directed his team with precision, their coordinated efforts creating a formidable defense. The Zolarians fought fiercely, but the humans held their ground. In the midst of the chaos, Kallan's ship loomed, a symbol of their relentless enemy. Tom knew this was their chance. He signaled to Mary and Marcus, who nodded in understanding. As the battle raged around them, they launched a daring assault on Kallan's ship. Amidst the explosions and chaos, they infiltrated the enemy vessel, facing fierce resistance. With determination and skill, they fought their way to the bridge. Tom confronted Kallan, their eyes locking in a moment of understanding. This was the climax of their struggle. With a swift, decisive move, Tom incapacitated Kallan, securing a hard-earned victory. The Zolarian forces, leaderless and disorganized, began to retreat. Cheers erupted from the human ranks as they watched the enemy flee. Tom and his team emerged from the ship, triumphant but weary. Mary placed a hand on Tom's shoulder, her smile one of relief and pride. "We did it." Tom nodded, the weight of their victory sinking in. "We did. But this is just the beginning. We need to stay vigilant." As they stood amidst the wreckage, the dawn breaking around them, Tom knew they had achieved something extraordinary. They had defended their home, proved their resilience, and shown the strength of their unity.